friends, welcome to Uniquely Vintage You. Friends, today we're going to decorate my home and we're going to concentrate on my living room. So thank you so much for being here. I'm ready to pull out the spring and the Easter. This year I'm kind of putting them both together and I'm just going to enjoy them all at once. And when the season is over, then I can take away some of the bunnies and the Easter and just see what I can do. I don't know, I think bunnies still lend their hand to spring, so I will probably maybe leave some of those out as well. I'm not sure, but for now I'm ready to pull them all out. So thank you for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, friends, we would love it if you would consider subscribing and being a part of our YouTube family. And if you would give us a big thumbs up, it truly does help our channel, and we are trying so hard to grow. Friends, y'all are such a blessing, so thank you for being here. Now let's get started with our decorating. In today's video, we're going to finish up my living room. So I want to show you the areas that I want to concentrate on. Over here by my TV, I've got this cabinet I want to decorate right there. And then I want to add a few other touches to my couch and behind my couch, where I happen to have this amazing vintage old chest. So let's get to decorating. Y'all, I love having these lanterns behind my couch, so I'm probably going to leave them right there. I've got these old corbels that are some of my favorite things, and so to add just a few simple touches, I wanted to bring in this vintage wheelbarrow that I've had for many years. It looks like the wheel is a little bit broken. I probably need to fix that, but for right now, I've just gone ahead and tucked in some greenery and then some of these sweet little carrots. The white ones I got at Walmart, and I believe the others I picked up at Michael's, I believe. I don't know, it's been a while. But now let's just tuck in a couple of bunnies and we're going to call it good. And friends, these bunnies came from Target several years ago, but I think they bring them back most every year. I don't know, I don't get to shop Target very often. It's not really close, so sadly I'm not sure, but you could definitely check your Target and see if they happen to have them. So now that that's decorated, let's try to concentrate on my sad looking couch. I've had it many years, but it's always amazing what a few throw pillows and a blanket will do. And friends, I found these amazing sweet checked pillows on Amazon. I will have them linked for you guys in the description below. Also, the other beige ones I will have listed if they're still available. And I got this really pretty peach color pillow at Ross this year, and as y'all know, I'm trying to bring in just a few touches of that peach color. I just think it's so pretty for spring. So to decorate my coffee table, which is this old trunk, I've got my favorite piece, which is this carved wood pedestal, and then I'm going to bring in this basket I thrifted several months ago at Goodwill. It's such an amazing find. I love these, and so I'm just going to tuck in this fern, and then the last thing I'm going to do, I think, to this basket is of course just add a bow. But you know, I had this fern all spread out. I thought it was perfect, and you know, I stuck it in, and to me, when you look at something, there's always a front, there's always a back. Like this is the front of the basket, and that was the front of the fern, which I had toward the back, so of course I have to turn it. You know, a little OCD about a few things, but that's okay. You know, we just do what we like, and you know, that's all that matters. So now I'm gonna just take this ribbon that I actually had on hand. I'm not sure where it came from. It was just something that was in my stash. I love the color, and I think it's going to make the perfect bow. And you know, I'm trying to make a loopy bow, one that is kind of hanging, because I think that looks a little more vintage, or maybe it just does in my mind's eye. So that's what I'm trying to achieve right here. So yeah, if some of you are probably saying that's too big, that's just the reason why I make it that way. I just, in my mind, I think it looks a little more vintage. So now let's lay down this moss pad, and I love using these. And again, these come from Michael's. I really enjoy pulling these out each spring season. I think they just add the perfect little touch. And to that, I'm going to add these gorgeous flowers, and I just have it tucked in this really sweet little ironstone dish I have. I actually thrifted that. I've got some paper shred that I cut from old books just wrapped around the bottom. But aren't these flowers so beautiful? And sadly, I can't link them. They're very old. They came from kind of a discount store. And you know, I grabbed all that they had, which just was a couple of bunches, but these are some of my favorites. They're kind of fragile, so I'm always trying to be really careful with these, but I love them. And to me, it just makes my spring decorating complete. And of course, this guy is another one of my favorites. I have many favorites, but he's definitely one of them. I believe I got him at a boutique many years ago. I love the basket. I just love everything about him. So I think he deserves a place of honor right here on top of this pedestal. Isn't he just adorable? So of course I had to add in some moss stones, and you know, you can't have a display without some precious little Easter chicks. So these came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to place these right here. And then just to complete this look, I think it looks like it needs to look like, I'll get it out in a minute, like he dropped some Easter eggs, or that he's placed them for someone to come in and hunt. I just love that look. I think that is precious. And you know, Easter and hiding all the eggs brings back so many precious memories for me, and of course me doing that for my daughter. So I think this display just turned out adorable. Okay, I was wrong. We don't need chicks to complete this display, but we need an open Bible. This is my sister Tammy's Bible, and I love using it. And then I'm just going to grab another little Bible and open it up to Mark 16, because, you know, that talks about the resurrection of Christ, and that is the most important part of Easter. So I'm going to proudly display these Bibles right here. Now we're going to switch gears just a little bit, and I'm going to share with you a find that I got at Ross. It's this sweet bunny. My friend Liz from Tradition by the Season, she shared this, so I had to run grab it because it was so adorable. And so I like it, but I want it to look a little more aged for my decorating for my home. And so I'm going to add some rub and buff to that, and I love that, but I thought it needed a little more aging. So I'm pulling out this dark wax, and I'm just going to rub it along the edges, and I think that's going to give it the distressed look that I love. It just goes to show you, friends, even if you see something new in the store and your decor is more primitive or vintage, or you like old, you can always take things and make them look the way you desire. And that's what I've done right here. Now I think he fits in my home so much better. The only other thing I did was add a crepe paper little collar, and then just some ribbon. And I think he's absolutely perfect. I can't wait to use him in my home. So I don't have a ton of old Easter, but I have a little bit. I love these egg decorating kits. I think they're just amazing. Of course, I do have that paper mache bunny. I love that as well. And that old Easter basket. This is something I thrifted earlier I guess it was probably in the fall last year, and I just love that. So let's transform my cabinet using all these amazing things. So I've taken everything out except for what I have on the top, and I still like the way that looks, so I'm just going to build up on it. So I'm going to take this really pretty little vintage egg trimming kit. I'm going to place it right there and then just tuck in a few other little things. Y'all, I love this old basket, and sadly the handle has broken, and so I just added some ribbon to keep it secure, and I just keep that ribbon on it all the time. Now I don't have paper shred, but I do have some of this shredded paper that you can buy. It's kind of a neutral color, and I'm going to use that instead of Easter grass this year, and I'm just going to tuck in some paper mache eggs and make it look like it's kind of spilling out of this basket. Friends, these chicks that I have on the top shelf and then right here, I believe those came from TJ Maxx many years ago. I love them. They're replicas of some old ones. Sadly, it had a little chip on its nose, so again, the dark wax came to the rescue and saved the day. Now you can't even tell. I just think they're so sweet. And so I'm going to tuck in a few other things. I've got this book of little Christian books, and I just love this color of this outside part, so I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to add in this sweet little tree. This came from, I believe, TJ Maxx too. I just think that bunny is so sweet, and I love the way that shelf looks. So now let's move down to the bottom. Let's just stick in this corbel I have and a few other touches. Friends, my friend Jody gifted me with this sweet bottle brush tree at Christmas time. Again, this is another treasure she shared with me. I love this, and she made this, which is just so amazing and beautiful. And so I love using it, and my plan is to use it all year long. And so I'm going to tuck it right here in this display. I think it works absolutely perfect. Thank you, Jody. So now let's decorate the top of the cabinet, and I always usually have this lantern somewhere right over here. It came from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to add in some old vintage books, and then on top of this I'm just going to pull in a really pretty topiary. And this one is one that is, I believe it's, I think I got it on HSN. It's one of Liz Galvan's lines that she does with them, and I just think it's beautiful. I really love that. So I love this, but now let's add in that gorgeous bunny. He is so pretty. I love this so that as you enter my home, he's right there to greet you saying Happy Easter. He's just so adorable. But you know, again, Easter is not about the Easter bunny, so we have to bring in an old Bible, and I have this green one. I love it. So we're going to tuck this in as well. So I thrifted these picture frames last year. They're just plastic. I did add some rub and buff to them. And so I just printed off these pictures of these sweet bunnies. They look vintage, and I'm just going to hang them on the wall right up here. I think they are just so pretty. I used them last year in my home, and so I saved them, and I'm excited to use them again this year. Now, after I have them up here, I realized that I think a 3 would look better. So I have this frame where I used in my St. Patrick Day decor. Now I need to change out this print and use something else, and I don't have anything just yet, but I think I'm going to add that right there. Y'all tell me what you think. Do you think it looks better with the 2 or 3? Okay, now switching gears, I'm going to tuck in this sweet bird. This came from Hobby Lobby as well several years ago. I love him. He's so adorable. And you know, friends, I will tell you, this bunny came from, of course, Walmart last year. I love that. He is just so adorable. But I was going to tell you, the clock I have here, I got at the antique mall last year, and I love it. And it worked, and I was so excited. But it makes the loudest humming noise that it truly drives me insane. So I've had to unplug it. And so I have to have a clock here because that's just where I'm used to having one. So I'm going to tuck in my old one and stick it right there, kind of layer that look, and that works for me. But I'm definitely going to be on the hunt for another clock that works, that doesn't make all that humming noise. But friends, this is my living room all decorated, and yeah, tell me what you think. I really love the way it's all come together. I do have a lot of spring, but I've also added in some Easter touches. Friends, Easter is only a month away, so I don't think it's too early to bring in your Easter decor, and I'm going to enjoy it as long as I possibly can. Friends, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. We never take a moment of your time for granted, and we're so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And friends, before I go, I just want to share with you this beautiful Bible verse. I am the Lord your God who leads you in the way you should go. Isaiah 48:17. Friends, are you like me and you need direction in your life on a daily basis? It's so comforting to know that you can turn to the Lord and He will guide your every step. Friends, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. And friends, we look forward to seeing the next one. Bye, y'all.